Hi, guys. I would like to start by saying a big thank you to Woodpecker Media for having us all on board today to talk about the sheer importance of health and fitness in our day to day lives, not only in the current ongoing pandemic, but also as a complete lifestyle which we need to incorporate and inculcate. I believe that each day is a new opportunity to improve yourself, so take it and make the most of it. Fitness is something you cannot wish for. You have to work towards it. And sometimes the smallest lifestyle changes can make the biggest impact. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Priya Khandelwal, and I'm a certified nutritionist, lifestyle coach, face yoga teacher, and a complete fitness enthusiast. I will be moderating today's panel discussion on Be Fit, Stay Fit, curated by Woodpecker Media. So let's get started. We have on board today a powerhouse of women. We have Megha Sareen, Sharmila Munj, Preeti Pathak, and Manali Vora. Welcome, everyone. You are all from different professional backgrounds, but have one thing in common: understanding the importance of being fit with regards to your body and your mind. So please take a few minutes to introduce yourselves. Let's start with Megha Sareen.
Hi.
Hi, Megha.
Can you hear me, guys?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hi. Just a sec. Sorry. Hi. Hey guys. So this is Megha Sareen. Thank you, Woodpecker Media, for having me on board today, and thank you, Priya. So let me just quickly introduce myself. I am a fitness influencer and a content curator. I blog about all things healthy, stylish, and fashionable. As well as my whole idea is, we live in a world of social media where we put those aspects of life which are not realistic. My idea is I show my real journey, how I have lost weight over a period of decade and how I have incorporated fitness, healthy lifestyle in my daily life. So I take all my audience, my followers through my real life journey. I show how easy it is to have a healthy relationship with food and how I curate content promoting healthy living, healthy lifestyle, and living a holistic, meaningful life.
And yummy recipes.
Yes. So I curate all things healthy. That's what. So I make all healthy recipes. The whole idea is healthy is also yummy. So it doesn't have to taste bland. So I develop a lot of recipes as well. Yeah.
Brilliant. Happy to have you on board today. All right. Now let's speak to Sharmila. Sharmila, you're mute. Sharmila, sweetheart, I think you're mute.
Okay. Hi, this is Sharmila Kamat, and I have been the first ambassador of Pinkathon. I have a company called Get That Fit Feeling, where I make everybody fitter, where the tagline is motivate the mind and the body will follow. So I also have a company called Tigress Mom, so where I'm trying to make each Tigress Mom an entrepreneur and a fitter Tigress Mom. So that's where I believe in motivate the mind and the body will follow.
Superb. Happy to have you on board. Okay, let's now speak to Preeti.
Hi everyone, I'm Preeti Pathak. I'm an author, I'm a wellness coach and a speaker. I have started my own company named Imperial with one mission to reach out to as many people, as many souls, and help them empower their life. When you empower your life, when you are happy, you experience freedom. So I'm on a mission to make everybody understand the significance and importance of fit body, fit mind. Fitter mind leads to a fit body and then to be happy. Thank you. Thank you, Woodpecker Media.
Happy to have you on board. Okay, let's speak to Manali.
Good evening and thanks a lot to Woodpecker Media for giving this opportunity to have this platform, and thank you, Priya, to be such a wonderful moderator. I am an expert into food service management and dietetics, as well as into pediatric nutrition and sports nutrition. I have an experience of a decade into fitness industry. I also own a company known as Solidarity Nutrition. So we have a motive of creating a fitter India, a fitter nation. Thank you.
Wonderful. So like I said, we have a real powerhouse of women on this panel today. So let's get everybody on board together so we can start our discussion. All right, ladies, ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, super. Okay, so this question is for all of you, but again, we're going to take it one person at a time. What is your view on the importance of fitness through exercise? A fit body versus a fit mind. Let's start with Megha.
Hi. So yeah, I think it both goes in hand. I mean, I believe that you are what you eat. You are what you provide yourself. You know, you can't take things artificially. Even if you're working out and you're eating all the junk food, your calories are not processed, so that will not give you energy for the next workout. So it's a cycle. You are in complete holistic view, like what you feed yourself, how you take care of yourself, be it sleep, be it stress, everything is interconnected. It's like different rings of the wheel. So everything is connected and they all move together. Both your mind, body, spirit, they're all united. So it's very important to equally stress on fitness as well as what you feed your body.
Yeah, and you do need a fit mind for a fit body and vice versa. You're absolutely right. They're completely interconnected. One doesn't work without the other, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great to have that view. Okay, Sharmila.
As a first Pinkathon ambassador, when I started the Har Ghar Mein Pinkathon, I felt that women have never been given the opportunity to even go out, and they are not even aware about exercising. So what I wanted to say is that body, mind and intellect is very important. So if you are not going to work on your body, mind and intellect, that what you require, that free time, that me time, it's never going to work for you. So you should start. So that's the way. I mean, body, mind and intellect is very important, and that opportunity given to her to know that it is important, she has to realize her me time. That's what I want to say. The me time, the exercise, even the thoughts that what we eat, we realize that, but the thoughts that we go into our body, we never realize that. So we need to realize and start loving ourselves first before we start exercising.
Totally.
Yeah.
That is my favorite hashtag, first love yourself. I was going to name a company, First Love Yourself. It's so important, right? And it's not narcissism. It's about self-love and self-care.
Yeah, right. Even I have a show on India is Planking, which is called Main Meri Favorite.
Oh, lovely. How Kareena Kapoor of you. That sounds fabulous. Nice. Okay, Preeti, what about you? What are your thoughts?
So I would say a healthy mind leads to a healthy body. So True. It's a reverse. And so if we look at it factually, about 80% or 90% rather they say of our brain is in the gut.
True.
So our thoughts in the mind, our experiences and expressions or emotions that we feel at the heart center go directly into the gut. And that is where all the food that we eat, all the digestion, assimilation, everything happens over there. That's the main core center of all our actual entire body functioning. Having said that, there are firewalls in the system, correct? So if the mind is not strong, if there are emotions and thoughts that are disturbing, that are affecting you, the firewalls in the system start collapsing one by one. And it first has a deep impact on the gut, on the system, on the bowel system, right? And that has a domino effect on various other organs of the body. So I would say, yes, this is my take would be, so we need to keep our mind healthy. We need to have happy thoughts, healthy thoughts. I would further like to add to that is, our mind, what we see, a conscious mind is just the tip of the iceberg. The deeper level is the subconscious mind, right? So all, I mean, on face up front, we appear and we say, I am brave, I am courageous, but heart and heart, I wouldn't say heart and heart, but the subconscious mind has already read and told that program that there are traces of fear, there are traces of anger. How much ever you try and put up an act, it is going to have an impact on your physical well-being, on your health, on your approach towards situation, and that takes a big plan. So yes, I would say a healthy mind gives you a healthy body. So we need to be very mindful of the thoughts that we are allowing to enter into our system.
Yes, absolutely. And so much of your immunity is in your gut as well, right? So you want to stay fit and healthy. You have a good, proper working gut, which is again connected to your brain, and then everything works in equilibrium, like Megha was
Yeah.
also saying.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hi, Manali, your take on this.
See, first of all, I would like to say on this thing that a woman, how much ever the revolution is happening around the world for upgrading the women, but still there are some parts of the country or some parts of the world where women still don't consider themselves worthy. So the first thing to start here is they should consider themselves worthy. This will, boost their self-confidence as well. Rather than expecting some male to come up and, take our women up, uplift a woman, we should ourselves consider that women are worthy, and we should take a less of stress on every aspects of life. Rather if you see in a family or in any community where you see there is a lot of women who take they are mostly there are women who take stress rather than men. So here I would say we should take a less of stress, and yes, good thoughts leads to good brains, and then good and healthy body. So exercising and fitness plays a major role here. When you exercise, it definitely throws out your rage, your anger onto your workout, and it gives you a better results on your body as well. Overall, on your physique as well. So yes, these both things are really connected to each other. So in previous stages where we used to see that women need to work a lot, और सिर्फ घर का काम करती थी. So that was not a machine age. Everything used to be handmade and handmade things stuff. So now when we all are dependent on machines and we all are working, so definitely to shape up our body, to shape up our muscles, we need to exercise and keep ourselves fit, and that definitely starts the thought that I am worthy and I can do it.
Yeah, I really like that take on that. I love this. First, you love yourself. मैं अपनी favorite हूँ. I am worthy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love where this discussion is going. Okay. So Megha, I have a question for you. Like I
Yeah.
said, I was stalking you on Instagram, and you really lead by example, right? So when you work out, it's not only about working out. You make sure that your followers get to see all the yummy, nutritious food that you're preparing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're always constantly sharing recipes with your followers. So my question to you is, how easy do you think it is to stick to this sort of a healthy diet? And have you always been into health and fitness? Have you always had this lifestyle? Or, did something happen along the way in your life?
Yeah, so interesting question. I mean, I would like to share my personal experience. I was born in like a Punjabi family, grew up eating parathas. So,
Oh, great.
Tremendous change in my lifestyle today to the kind of lifestyle I live. But
Right.
honestly, I have been in this lifestyle at least it's almost been a decade. So I was a fat kid. I lost around 15 to 16 kgs. In my teens, I was very heavy. I had a lot of problems. I used to keep falling sick. I had asthma. I used to fall sick every 2 months. So my immunity had gone to the toss. But over a sudden period of time, something hit me. I started working out. Earlier, I used to push myself, but eventually it became a part of my life. I realized something I would tell you guys, like, motivation gets us started, discipline keeps us going. It becomes a habit. Like for a person like me who's always on an overdrive, exercise is very intrinsic to my routine now. It's like the way you brush your teeth, you follow a routine, you follow a pattern. So it becomes a core part of yourself. And coming to recipes, I see we were born and brought up with that notion, especially we are Indians and our whole diet is full of carbs, which is okay. I am not saying carbs are bad. I'm just saying we just grew up. We just put it like this thing is bad. This food is restricted. This food is not good. Fat makes you fat. Carbs are not good. All that diet myths. I want to give away that diet culture. For me, it is. I focus on promoting natural food, cooking your meals from scratch. Now this lockdown has made it more easy for me. So it's very easy to, give that message to my audience that I am at home, I'm making my meals from scratch. I feel the idea is our solution of healthy eating is in our kitchen cupboards, in our refrigerators. If we sort that out, everything is sorted. That's the whole idea. So I promote that kind of lifestyle, that cook your meals from scratch, make it interesting, make it healthy. Just little alternatives can make a huge difference.
True.
Yeah.
So what I also tell a lot of people is that it's all about meal prep. If you spend
Yeah.
just one day in a week thinking about what you want to eat and just load it up in your fridge, you will have zero excuses left. You know,
Exactly.
stop making excuses. And
I
now
mean,
there's
true.
so much availability out there. Everything,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand for the first couple of months, the supply chain was a bit skewered and stuff, but you have even like anything and everything coming to your
Exactly.
doorstep. So
Yeah.
please stop making, yeah. And I think
So I mean,
everyone during this lockdown has become like a healthy baker, making gluten-free
yeah,
bread
yeah,
and
yeah.
cookies and stuff. So it's great, actually. You
Exactly.
inspire us.
Thank you. So that's the whole idea, you know. I feel we really need to stop making excuses and, you know, negotiating ourselves. We try to justify and, you know, oh shit, I didn't have time to work out. I was busy working. Everybody can take out at least 20 to 30 minutes and do something that they like. You know, for me, it's a release of emotions. Exercise releases endorphins. It's called
Totally.
happy hormone.
Totally.
We might
Totally.
drag ourselves, but it's always a good feel good feeling afterwards. So once
Yeah.
you get into that zone, you choose your priorities. Second is first is discipline, second is priorities. And you will choose that yourself. You'll follow that path after once you have developed a healthy relationship with food. You know, that's the
Totally.
whole idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consistency is key at the end of the day, you know?
Exactly.
Consistency
Yeah.
is key.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, Manali, I have a question for you. You are
Yeah.
a sports nutritionist, right? So, how different is a regular person's diet, like on a day-to-day, you know, different from, let's say, a sportsman's diet or a sports diet? And are there any misconceptions about certain food that people may have with regards to this?
I did not get the second part of the question, Priya. You are not
I'm
audible.
saying that how different is sports nutrition from like a regular day-to-day nutrition? And are there any misconceptions about certain foods that people have when they are incorporating into their nutrition plan?
Okay. See, when a normal person has a balanced diet or a normal diet, the intention behind having that meal is just to achieve a holistic life or an a proper fitness. Okay, when a sportsman has a diet, the intention of having that meal is approaching towards that sport in a better way, right? So with a better enthusiasm or a better to perform better. Okay,
The
so
performance.
definitely there is increase in the performance matters here, and the sportsman diet also differs from sports to sports. So definitely there is an increase in the amount of protein or amount of good carbohydrates they have. The meal timings differ. The quality, I mean not the quality, but yes, the quantity of food differs. So definitely a normal diet is very different from a sportsman diet. And yes, about certain foods like when we say a sportsman relies much on high protein diet. But along with this, they also need to take care of the body organs. I mean to say specifically the liver and the kidneys, because when they are on a high protein diet, definitely when they are not having a lot of water and if they are also under a constant pressure and stress
Yeah.
of performing. Along with it, they also sometimes in some sports activities they are into the doping processes, into taking steroids and growth hormones and all stuff. So these things definitely harm their body. So on one hand, you are having good nutrition, good food, and on the other hand, you are getting dope. So this leads nowhere.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest thing which
Conflicting.
I will. Yeah, this is a conflicting thing,
Yeah.
and this should not be happening ideally. So because that is not leading, that may give you an extra push to your performance, but in the later ages of your life, definitely you will see a downfall, a tremendous downfall in your health. And when we talk about the normal diet, yes, in a normal diet, people should, consider good fats, into limited amounts as well. Should, neglect completely trans fats and chips or chivras and stuff which we have. Especially when we talk about diet food or diet chivra that we get ready to eat in the market. So these things are not really healthy. I don't know what they actually mean by diet chivra, because
I'm
any
with
which
you.
ways it is.
I'm
Any
with
which
you
ways
too.
it is.
We believe in making
It's
our
doing
own.
more harm than good. If people actually learn how to read the ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we talk
Diet,
about
we believe in making at home.
yeah, when we talk about
Exactly.
any aerated drink, which is having a diet Coke or a diet Pepsi or anything, which is a less of a sugar, but it just means that there is no, added sugar to it. But the inbuilt sugar, which is add, is already harmful to your body. So I would advise here rather, plunging into something known as diet food available in the market. Rather, make some healthy stuff, as Megha said, cook from the scratch in your own kitchen.
Yeah, and I also feel that this word diet, usko, they've taken it, stretched it, twisted it, turned it, dumped it. Like, why? It's diet means nutrition, guys. Why is diet always associated with losing weight?
It's associated with dieting and losing weight.
That's why it's such a this needs to be rephrased in our English dictionary, I feel. Okay, but also like my marathon runner friend, for example, right? I have so many friends in the marathon runner. They do a lot of carb loading and stuff, right? So like I said, is there any, other than diet colas, is there any misconception about like, let's say, getting up in the morning, having lots of protein or lots of carbs or something like that, especially for a sportsman?
Yeah. See, carb loading, yes, they are supposed to do carb loading, but the process of carb loading is also different. That depends on the coach as well as on your body capacity to hold that carb. And how much do you expel the energy out of it during your sport is also important. Sometimes you see when the carb loading goes in a wrong way, the sportsmen end up into, having a hypoglycemic state in the middle of the run. So, we always come across a sportsman who died suddenly, out of nothing. He was gymming and he passed away, or he was, doing a marathon and he fainted. So why these things happen? These things always happen when the carb loading or the pre-workouts which they take are not proper. See, here, during the pre-workouts, I say that the electrolyte balance is must. The water and the electrolyte balance should be monitored from time to time. If the water and electrolyte balance is not monitored, they end up into something which is very drastic and unacceptable. And the pre-workouts usually have beta alanine or citrulline or caffeine. See, 1 cup of a coffee, like something around 240 ml of coffee, might have something about 95 grams approximately of caffeine. And when you have a pre-workout, it has around 500 mg of caffeine, which gives a sudden boost to your body to perform good. But this leads to sleeplessness, insomnia, and these kind of things.
Irritability,
restlessness,
anxiety.
Anxiety.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Noted. So we have a couple of a question here, but I'll take it after I address everyone on the panel. Yeah. So now I have a question for Sharmila. Okay. You promote body positivity through fitness, right? So how did that start, and how has the journey been? Have you faced any obstacles along the way, Sharmila?
My obstacles, I think so. I started my journey after becoming a mother. A lot of people start their journey when they are in their school or they are in colleges, but I started my fitness journey because my daughter told me, "Mama, upar nahi baithna hai swimming ke samay." When she used to swim, you have to come down and swim with me. So I feel Indian women, if they realize that if they are giving the best education to their child, and if they are not themselves becoming a sports, they are not embracing sports, then I think so that's a wrong thing. So I embraced sports. I became the first ambassador of Pinkathon. I ran Mumbai to Pune. Okay. और बहुत सारे लोग, when I started running, everybody used to tell me कि हाँ ये तो ऐसे दिखती नहीं है, like she doesn't look like she's a runner. So I was already 40, so I didn't want to say. So I started a tagline said that live your 40s and 50s like your tins. So I was a late mother. So my daughter was already in 10 and I was in 40s right now. So the age gap was there, but it was like a blessing because uski wajah se, meri daughter ki wajah se, I started becoming fit. So I feel that the whole journey has been that yes, people are going to pull you down. People are going to talk about it. Ki, you don't look like a runner. So today when I do India's planking, when I tell women that agar aapke paas 20 minutes nahi hai, so at least have 10 seconds to do a plank. Cooker lagate samay bhi you can do a plank. So India's planking is something which I do in Hindi and in all the languages in India, because a woman should always feel ki if it is in her language, like Punjabi hai, Marathi hai, whichever language she knows, Oriya hair.
Right.
So it will become much better for her and for me to reach out to that woman. So that has been my journey, that you just start thinking about what you want and you are going to be a role model. I think so. My daughter says, Mama, mera koi hero nahi hai. You are my hero. So if you want to
Super.
look like a hero, you have to be
Be a
dashing,
hero.
na? Yeah.
Absolutely. All women are superheroes. But you know what? I
Yeah.
love the fact how you said that people, you are going to be surrounded by maybe negative and toxic people. But I have one advice for everybody: smile. It drives people crazy. Like, just keep smiling. They'll keep wondering what is going on that's so good in your life. So great, great. Okay, so Preeti, you are so calm and composed. I love it. I wish I could also be as calm and composed as you.
Thank
So I have a question for you. When it comes to food, you definitely have your own set of rules, right? So please tell all of us about your eating habits and what changes it has brought about
what changes it has brought about in my
in
living
you,
in
in
me.
you.
Okay, so my food journey travels. So I've had a graph, rather, I would say. It's been like an up and down where I had diagnosed with severe condition due to lots of travel and living in another place. And this somewhere got me disconnected. So being a foodie, and I love experimenting different dishes, different
Right.
cuisines. I would try eat them out and try and come back. You want to get that exact taste and exact flavor. I
Yes.
love it. But somewhere there was, so I started from a Rajasic meal and I have completely moved to a Sattvic meal, I would say.
Right.
So besides being like Megha said and Manali also mentioned that, eat at home, cook at home and do all those experiments, even you were telling, I somehow have gotten into my kitchen and I try experimenting with unusual things. So I'm lactose intolerant, okay?
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm a no sugar person because I feel
Me too.
you don't get any, there is no benefit from sugar. So so I replaced sugar with jaggery, and that too
Okay.
chemical-free jaggery. So, even if you have nariyal ka laddu, or if you have some other sweet dish happening, which essentially besan ka laddu, which essentially requires sugar. So I add jaggery to that. So I do my trial and errors, and I wouldn't say it's ever been an error because we love it, whatever turns out
Hmm.
from that. And yes, so with dietary restrictions, I feel you explore more beyond the typical and the standard what we see around. Your creative mind gets working into what else can I do? What can I bring to the table for myself? Like you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
everybody is
Mm-hmm.
talking about myself. When I am truly of this belief, the self comes first.
Mm.
So, yes, talk about food. This is what my journey has been, where I have shifted from Rajasic to a Sattvic meal. But in that Sattvic doesn't mean I don't eat onions or garlics and stuff. I love
Right.
garlic. I love onions. I eat all of those, but there's a lot of permutation combinations and trials. And that has been
Right.
my food journey.
Right. Very interesting. No, but earlier you were also talking about the mind, right? The mind-gut connection. So did this shift, this was a conscious shift that you did? Did that happen because of your lactose intolerance or did you discover it on the way?
It happened. No, no, no. It happened. So the kickstart was because of lactose intolerance, where there are
Okay.
do's and don'ts. I mean, there were
Of
days where
course.
I would, and I used to love chocolates. Okay, but I realized,
Don't we all?
uh, lactose became a medium for me to look beyond this, like I mentioned, the regular food platter that we have. So, I, as I said, I would eat chocolates, lots of chocolates and biscuits and all those things. But somewhere I reached a point of satiation. I was
Right.
like, there is more to life than eating just these chocolates. There's more to life than binging on those biscuits. I mean,
Right.
what is it that I am enjoying? I went to
Totally.
so I have this habit of questioning the why of everything. And
Yeah.
So with that questioning of why exposed me to a whole lot of other things. And yes, to answer your question per se, the journey coming into this kind of a diet because of gut, the gut has been having lots of probiotics has kept it in a good shape. Lactose, when I ruled out the lactose elements, gut has been very healthy. It has been happy. And you become very mindful of what you're eating. So I'm a
True.
very mindful person, and of my timings of food that I follow, food regime, my quantity of food that I will eat, and the type of food that I eat. And it's not something that I'm doing to diet. It's not something
That's amazing. That's amazing that you said that. Yeah, because most people say, "Oh my God, look, you're eating this and that, and you're eating only this much. ये तो diet पे है. ये तो diet पे है."
That is something people would tell me. So I would go for any social gatherings. They would be like, "Oh God, you're really on a diet. You
ये तो
maintain."
खाने नहीं वाली है कुछ भी. आप आओगे, आप खाओगे.
Yeah. You know, just to add to this, I mean,
please.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to add to you this that, you know, it's kind of very socially limiting. People think it's, you know, you can't go out, have dinner with a friend, but there's nothing like that. I just wanted to add that, you know, even I am dairy free. I don't have any dairy. And I have also seen a lot of difference. I am mostly plant based. So 95% I am, you know, I don't have milk too.
Food that we eat,
yeah.
Correct.
So I also prefer that.
Yeah, when I go out also, and there are days when it's not a good day to eat out, I carry my food. So if I'm meeting my friends or if I'm going for any social, I either eat my meal and I go, because I eat early meals and I don't want to disturb that routine. I'm very comfortable in that zone of mine.
Yeah.
That has helped me a lot. And I'm a regular practitioner of meditation. I do yoga. That's whereas has given me a lot of calmness, like what you mentioned. That
yes, you are really very calm and composed. It exudes from you, which is a good thing. I'm saying it as a compliment.
Thank you so much. So
okay.
And with that, I would like to add something about the books that I have written, because that calmness came in because Pardon? Okay. So, like Maushmi was saying that, you know, and Priya was also mentioning about love yourself. So, Enrich Life is one book which talks of different aspects of self which we tend to ignore, from self-discipline to self-love to self-counseling to self-awareness. So, when we bring that awareness to where I am in life or where I am with my habit and where do I want to reach, gives a paradigm of avenues for us to take a step forward if we want to discipline ourselves. You know, a lot of mental power, a lot of physical power is required to initiate in that direction.
Right. Awesome. Brilliant. Okay, guys, now I have a question for all of y'all. Okay. So in teenagers, like we were talking about, like Sharmila's daughter who was a teen and went and told her mom, I want you in the pool, right? So, you know, when you're like teens, it's all about, you know, being thin or slim and feeling good, looking good and all. Do you think that there is a major shift in perspective or attitude that happens once you kind of hit 40? I mean, with your clients, with your friends, like I'm 40, but my fitness journey started a very long time ago. But do you think there's any kind of change that happens in the whole attitude? So let's start with Megha.
Yeah, I can't right now. I'm not there. I will be, but how do I put it? I don't see that. I think you become more wise in your choices as you grow older. I just feel I am not going age by number. Whether I'm 32, I'm 40, whatever the age is, as you grow older, I feel you become more wiser in your choices. So we do have, you know, when you're teens, you don't realize it. Probably you having a lot of soda, and when you become more conscious, it's called conscious and mindful eating. So you are either having broccoli or you having a soda. soda might have 0 calories and broccoli will have probably 20-30 calories, but you know those calories from broccoli will make more sense to me than having the calories from zero or a diet coke calories from soda.
True.
Because
True.
that leads to insulin spike. And calories from broccoli they boost detoxification, they boost antioxidants, they are healing. So that way, when you grow older in terms of body positivity also, and what you eat also, you become more conscious of what you're doing. You're more aware as you grow older.
Yeah, true. What are your thoughts on this, Sharmila?
So I just lost the connection. So if you could just repeat the
sorry.
question.
So I was talking about that when we are all teenagers, it's all about looking slim and fit and things like that. And do you think there's any change that happens once you cross a certain age, particularly 40? You know, because I think most people are under the assumption that, like, at least with me, that I'm putting on weight, metabolism slow ho jata hai. I am, I have health conditions, mera metabolism slow ho gaya. And I need to educate those people and say that, no, boss, you can keep your metabolism functioning at its peak. So what do you feel, Sharmila? What do you think about the whole attitude shift?
Yeah. So I have been a runner. I also do a lot of trekking, after I started, becoming 40, 45K baad. Okay. So right now what I wanted, I also teach cycling. I teach cycling to women for emotional freedom, because I always tell, because when I was going through my menopause, I am telling women that there is no pause, you should never think about a pause. So there is no pause, and that's the greatest menopause. ये menopause जो सब लोगों ने दिमाग में डाला है ना. So with cycling, with adventure, and that's the line that I think about. Her adventure is her strength. Women do not adventure. They are just basically thinking कि मैं gym में जाके exercise, I'll do here, I will there. They are always in their comfort level. They need to come out of their comfort level. They need to, when you cycle, you become like a girl. So even when you see me cycling, किसको लगेगा कि नहीं मैं, I and my daughter would look like pals, best friends. So I feel that you should carry that energy into you and tell yourself that age is in the spirit, and you do whatever you like in terms of sports, or adventure. And that is going to give you that real thing. But, when you were in teen, and this is the same, like live your teens, you live your 40s and 50s like your teens.
Yeah, live every day like a child. Yeah? Why even a teenager? I'll go back a couple of years. Okay, Manali, your take on this.
What I feel is, Preeti, you saying something?
Sorry, Preeti. Who said we are towards? I mean, I never look at the graph of the age. That is never the deciding factor of where we are and what we are.
Absolutely. No, but there are certain hormonal changes and all that happen in the body. So you have to be aware of them, of course. Yeah, but I love how you said no pause. Yeah, there is no pause. I love that. Okay,
no
Manali, sorry, you were saying.
So, growing with grace is the beauty of a woman. I mean, every woman or every man grows old after a certain age. And as you said, there are certain hormonal changes, some physical changes which are bound to happen. And the beauty creams and stuff would not really, work on these things as we feel. So, grow with grace is what I believe in. And about the teens, when we talk, these days, teens have become more often, they approach dietitians or nutritionists. Basically, when I have my clients who are teens, they come up and say, हमें fit होना हो, हमें ये ऐसा figure चाहिए. When there was a fad of Kareena Kapoor having 0 figure, so I had a lot of clients who were,
sorry, there's some background noise. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I had a lot of clients who came up to me and say, "मुझे वो 0 figure चाहिए." They don't bother about the diet they're having. They don't bother about any nutritious food, whether they're having any nutritious food or not. They're ready to pass day in day out just to get that figure. So this is a fad which needs to be broken in teens, because while procuring these things, they end up into something which is really messy. And then when I see these clients, they are not able to even have a chapati because they are continuously on a liquid diet or something. So your body gets accustomed to certain things. So these fads need to be broken. Yes. And if you inculcate this habit of healthy eating, healthy living, and a fit body right from your teenage, so basically you need to have an environment in your family as well, to inculcate this habit. When you see, as Sharmila said, when me and my daughter cycle, we feel like we are pals. So when you have this environment in your family, definitely your girls, your boys will, they will end up into a healthy living. So, and when they grow old, when I have my clients who are in their 40s and 50s maybe, so they come up, with already a hypertension problem or a diabetes problem or any lifestyle diseases. So then they feel like, अब तो बहुत जिंदगी की भागदौड़ हो गई ना, जब जॉब था, ये था, वो था. So we couldn't, focus on our own selves. And now we are, about to retire. And now, since we have encountered with a lifestyle disease, so now we want to take care of our health. So this thing should be avoided. I think, when you start this thing inculcating from your roots, so तब आगे जाके आपको ये issue नहीं आएगा, because that will be a habit where you see yourself in 20s or 30s or 40s or 80s, you are healthy, and you have that mentality to be fit all over all the ages.
Yeah. And that is something I really believe in, changing your mentality. And also it's not like, oh, healthy is not difficult. It's small little lifestyle changes, and like I have a 10-year-old, I mean, she's almost 11 now in lockdown, and she emulates what I do. So if you talk to her about, good carbs, bad carb, complex, I mean, she good and bad, complex, soluble fiber, insoluble fiber, the girl knows it all at 10. Because she hears me talking about it, and I'm genuinely interested in what goes on my plate and in my body. So I think it's so important, and I think it's so important to empower, there's no age for this. You're absolutely right, guys. So yeah, maybe
so pampering kids, pampering kids to just give them a candy or, bribing kids for getting something done is really wrong, which most of the Indian parents do. So this is what
all over, babe, all over the world, not only Indian parents. Food is used as the biggest bribe.
So when I see pediatric, patients with me, I always say that बच्चा रोता है एक दिन रोने के बाद pamper मत करो, because they will get used to this habit, and at the end they will end up into something really messy.
No, then you tell them to call Megha and she'll give a healthy, nutritious recipe for your child that they will love. You don't need to make them cry.
I actually do that. So there are a lot of moms who reach out to me, and you make the food colorful and kids don't even know what goes into the food. You can easily trick them, and it would taste the same. They would not even know. You have to.
Yeah.
So
and after a certain age, you don't need to trick them. You'll be like, khao, nahi khana hai, jao. I never gave my daughter a choice. From the time my daughter has been born, I've never given her a choice.
Yeah, so it's just over parenting, which even I was born and brought up like that, honestly. So I know, but we have to change that now. There's so much over parenting that parents do. I mean, so we should not try to be controlling. They should know what goes in their plate, what is good for them.
True. Also, when we were growing up, there was not so much awareness. We were drinking Thumbs Up and Gold Spot, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't be taking names, but eating all the junk and all, but we had no idea what trans fat kya hai, sugar kya hai. We used to get our 10 rupees and go buy it.
Considering we are living in pandemic.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
I'm saying,
sorry,
I was saying we are living in
we have Google Baba. We have Google Baba, na? So
we have Google Baba now.
Then one can do as much of dissection and bisection and add to it,
Advertisements and social media is also responsible for it to some extent, is what I feel. When you give a free hand to your child to explore anything, on TV or on social networking sites, it's bound to happen.
Yeah, Manali, but how much do you have a child, Manali? How much can you control? It's not possible.
Yeah, you can't control.
They won't see it in your own house. They'll see it in their friend's house. They'll see it on the nanny's phone. Kuch nahi hone wala. We have to teach our children.
You can't control them. In fact, gone are the days, now we live in a world where the food is anyway adulterated. So all the more we can't just health is foremost. We're living in a pandemic today. That's why we are here and talking about it. Health is a priority. We can't suppress our immunity. Our immunity is going for a toss. It's not how it used to be 100 years back, where we could have anything we want. So all the more reason there needs to be a change. All the more reason we need to teach your kids. Make them in the kitchen. Tell them what kind of food they're eating. If they're having colas, how it actually spikes their blood sugar.
My daughter says toilet cleaner. When she used to, my daughter got me off drinking Diet Coke. Mama, toilet cleaner.
In fact, a lot of kids, you make them sugar makes them cranky. The more sugar you give, it's a cycle. Totally. So sugar is addictive. All the more reason, there are parents I know who don't even let them touch sugar because it makes kids cranky. We also have those sudden surge of, sugar rush we get. It's called sugar rush, right? And then it goes all crashing. Then we have another mood swings. Yeah. So we have to be cognizant of these things,
Definitely, we cannot be controlling, but we can monitor them, so as to know how to and when to mold them into which aspects.
Yeah. Guys, this has been absolutely amazing. So I have one last question for... sorry, Preeti.
Yeah, I'd like to add to it. When my daughter was small, she would tell me, junk food is healthy food and healthy food is junk food, because we have a left and right kind of a thing, right? Where you say what is good and what is bad. So this is junk food and this is healthy food, So that was the fun she would play with me. Like I had said her, I would never, as Megha said, that in that urge of parenting to eat the right food and at the right time, well, discipline is required, but I would always reason it out with her. So from an early age, my daughter would know. Now she's 20 years old. And if I look at her, she went through her graph of, I allowed her to eat all the junk. We call the Kurkures and the Cokes and the Pepsi. My daughter feels, okay, I've had enough of it at that time. Nothing is like, where she's going to be having that urge to eat. She knows what does what good and what does what bad.
Yeah.
So I would say it is an awareness pattern which we create and imbibe from the early childhood time. True. And we give them that liberty and freedom also to indulge in all these. So there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance. So you eat the right stuff, you get to eat. And today, actually, if we prepare all those food cuisines at home, nothing really falls in as unhealthy or junk. I mean, except for the oil and the deep frying that would happen. It again depends how much mindfully are you cooking it. Progressing towards being as our age. Yes, like you mentioned, Priya, we have to be mindful of the metabolic changes the body is going through. We have to be mindful of the endurance level, the physical strength, the energy. That's when one automatically becomes conscious. What I'm eating, what is going into my plate, what is going into my stomach, starts coming in. But if we have that trend from an early age, that this is the way of living and enjoy that, then there isn't much of a differentiation.
Yeah.
To that, another point, which yes, as I have progressed and I have realized and learned, I would like to add is the emotions and their significance on the food that we eat. How the food plays on our, like she said, I mentioned about sugar rush, there is a graph going up and down. There's a sugar rush and there's a dip. Correct. Now, why does that happen? Because of the kind of food, because of the stuff that has gone into the system. And that would make us agitated, that would make us happy, or it would give us a depression phase, also depending, of the kind of food that we've eaten and from where we've eaten. So those things, if we keep in mind, our emotions also are in a good balance. I mean, something that I have shared about in one of my book, 25 Essentials to Happy Living. There are 25 different emotions which play on our mind, attitudes and emotion, and food as well as the water intake. The more of colas that we drink is nothing but actually sugar, as we discussed. Water is life energy. There is prana in water. So the more water we have, all the food, all the toxins also get flushed out of our body, and that keeps our energy levels high. That keeps our emotions and mood in a good state. And obviously then there is I don't think there would be that crave or an addiction to eat the kind of food which actually shouldn't be eating to larger extent.
Great, great. It's been wonderful, guys. We have a couple of questions, but before we end this panel discussion, the last question I have to you guys is how has it been to explore this sort of self-discovery journey, right? Because we've all had our own journeys. And what message, what short and sweet message would you have to our viewers out there to for someone who yet hasn't taken the plunge towards health and fitness? And when I say plunge, I mean because it is a lifestyle change, right? It is a lifestyle shift. So I think I lost Megha, but let's start with Sharmila.
So I have two mantras, One is be regular, okay? And the second thing is, which I say in Marathi and in Hindi, I'm going to say, Ata thambaitsa nahi. So abhi rukna. Okay,
no
so
pause.
you are in any age, anybody will say anything to you. Be regular and आता थांबायचं नाही, यानी अभी रुकना नहीं है बस.
Superb, superb. Manali, what is your message?
When I talk about health and nutrition to people, all I say is rather than falling into the fads of different diet patterns which are available in the market and just googling out the stuff and trying it on your own, or just because your friend has a positive effect from a certain particular diet and you just applying it to your own body is not correct. So I think when you are taking a life, when you decide to take a lifestyle shift for your own good and for your own betterment, you need to consult someone. You need to consult an expert for it, right? And second thing, which I proper consultations are important. Rather than self-experimenting things and ending up into a conclusion that this doesn't work on me. That is not my cup of tea. That has been an umbrella term. Actually, that term, according to me, should be removed from the dictionary and should be replaced with fitness. There is nothing like diet.
Hallelujah.
So, yeah, and as I said, yes, consultations are important. As when I started a company, like I've been practicing into clinical nutrition since 10 years, into sports nutrition as well as pediatrics and food service management. So I cover basically all the aspects of health and nutrition. Rather than focusing on one stream or segment altogether. So when I see people from all the segments, one common thing which I feel is people experiment a lot. Hence, I made a point that proper consultations with renowned people or someone who has been expert in the particular stream is more important. And the supplements, I would like to add about when people plunge into supplements and stuff. There are a lot of products in the market these days available who would claim to give you an instant beauty, instant boost in metabolism, instant they'll be taking you out instantly out of some PCOD stuff or something. So these things, I feel is somewhere there should be a ban or a campaign where we can say, please stop this thing, because those who are not from science background or from a nutrition background, they might end up into this, and they might have to struggle.
And it'll do more harm rather than good.
Yeah, true. So these things are important. So guiding people, spreading the awareness is the responsibility of a dietitian or nutritionist, whoever is practicing. So yes, definitely, this is my final call about this.
Yeah. And also my message over here, though it's not my turn to speak, is that I think a lot of people, they fish in too many ponds. They'll come to you, they'll come to you, they'll come to you, they'll come to you, they'll ask a friend, they'll ask this, have some faith. You're going to a nutritionist or a dietitian or a healer for a reason. Give it some time, stick to it. If it's genuinely not working for you, change. But don't go to 5-6 people all at once and then get utterly confused what to do, which is also a mistake a lot of people make, because I think there's so much availability out there also, Google Baba, like you were saying, Google Baba.
I started my company, just because of this reason, because when I saw people, ending up into supplements which are really harming their organs. So I have developed a whey protein. Yeah, I myself have developed a whey protein with Ayurvedic herbs. So these days it is proving good for immunity as well in the COVID. And it is naturally boosting the testosterone and increasing the endurance level of the body.
I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, it's named as Innovate. This is available in the market. So yeah, so we should end up into something which is, as Preeti ma'am said, something which is very sattvic or an holistic approach towards your health and life, rather than
Right.
just yeah.
Yeah, Preeti. So, what would your Megha keeps getting disconnected, I think. So, what is your parting message? Because we have to take a few questions after this also.
I'll make it quick. One message is patience with perseverance. To add to what you said, people want immediate results. So they are not satisfied at one place. They're like, okay, this is not working. You need to have that faith and surrender and have lots of patience and keep at it. The initial phase, there is enthusiasm. You will do with a lot of dedication. Then the actual consistency phase, when it comes, there is a dip. And then suddenly there is a surge. Oh, I want to go here, there. So one needs to have patience and perseverance. And the second, the philosophy, principle which I follow is one life, one chance. Opportunity knocks on your door only once. And
True.
So कहते हैं ना, जब पता चला, जब रियलाइज हुआ, तब सवेरा है. तो आपने आज डिसाइड किया, आज समझ आई है, तो बस ठान लो, गांठ बांध लो, and be at it. And be
wow, I love that.
Physical workouts and fitness with your mental power. So you need to do exercises, do meditation, do yoga, and you're going to be at it.
Yeah, so I think the message that all of you all are giving over here is a combination of things: healthy body, healthy mind, consistency, perseverance, no pause, self-love, self-worth, and self-care, right? I think that is the message where empowered women. Empowered women empower women. Okay. So, guys, we have a couple of questions very quickly. Somebody asked about jaggery. So, the question is there any scientific evidence that jaggery is healthier than sugar, or is it just a personal experience?
Well, I can't really recall in terms of the sugar vis-a-vis jaggery, but jaggery, we know for the fact, gives lots of iron.
Not refined.
Not refined. So, the refined, refined, and so refined is the process that it's going through, right?
Yeah.
The sugar making is, as you said, is a refinement process that's happening, and there is also a lot of glucose which goes with that.
Right. Yeah. Also white sugar leads to a lot of inflammation in the body. It leads to chronic inflammation over a period of time, and it leads to several other disorders. So yeah, I would definitely say that good jaggery there's so many healthy sources. White sugar is the silent killer.
And also white sugar leads to insulin rise.
That's
the most dangerous, and it has been proved again and again, and we are seeing cases. There are so many type 2 and type 1 diabetes cases. So sugar definitely is and is not a good thing. I mean, the chips and the wafers also have a lot of sugar.
Absolutely. I think people also need to understand what is sugar, but we could do that like on another panel discussion, because that's like a big topic in itself. So then
let me just complete that to whoever has asked.
It's
a natural process of extracting, from the cane, which is also again from the same product, but that's the first stage what is created. The residue level is when sugar is processed and refined and is made. Correct me if I am wrong.
No, so totally.
Right. Jaggery also is a rich source of iron. So there are nutritional health benefits which jaggery has.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think we have a cycling question. Somebody said cycling is fun, okay, and makes you feel young. Someone's become a poet for you, Sharmila. And now we have Supriya, who's asking, what is the best alternate of sugar? Oh, sorry, I addressed another question. Yeah, what is the best alternative of sugar? So like you said, we have
jaggery,
you have dates, you have cane sugar. There's so many in the market now. Coconut sugar.
There are kishmish, there's kishmish also, raisins.
Kishmish.
There are berries, which you do get those berry extracts, which can be used.
You get unsweetened berries also, unsweetened dried berries, which tell you exactly what's in it, and it says no added sugar, So guys, my message
is also a good option.
Yeah, sorry.
Stevia is also a good option. Stevia.
Yeah,
Even,
there are lots of natural alternatives to white sugar.
yeah.
And here I
Okay.
would like to make a point. When we just talk about natural sugar, we surpass the thing that we are indirectly adding on sugar to our body by having this trans fats and other chivdas and chutneys and stuff. So when you're taking carbs, the carbs which we have in our daily routine should be more of a complex carb than simple carbs, because at the end this gets processed in your body as simple sugar. So even if you are not having a white sugar directly, but this also adds up on sugar into your body. So watch your carbs, the quality of carbs that you eat.
Yeah, complex carbs always. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are one or two more questions. Actually, there are lots of questions. Let's take one or two more. I have lost 10 kgs during lockdown as a neurology patient too. And before this, I was very addicted to junk food and sweets without dieting. But ma'am, when we go through menstruation cycle, the cravings occurs, then what to do? Yeah, very common question. Very good question, actually.
Okay.
So cravings for sugar that occurs, I think you can replace that with eating healthy stuff like dates. In fact, dates has iron with your menstrual cycle. That will be a good substitute. Eating dates, eating raisins. So look out for sweet food, or which is a replace for your sugar, which is a requirement for your sugar rush, which is at the same time, and which gives what do you say? Which is iron rich. Sorry, which is iron rich.
Yeah, I suggest a lot of things just before and during the menstruation cycle. I think it works very well.
What do you suggest?
Seeds. I do seed cycle.
Yes. Definitely. Trying an alternative recipe is also a good option to incorporate the craving of junk food in your life, especially during this menstruation cycle.
Yes. True. Because if you run for that sugar, it's just going to affect the hormones even more. So it's a very delicate balance.
The more you resist, the more you go towards it, is what I believe. So rather have something healthy and satisfy yourself.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So guys, we are 1 hour into the show, which has been absolutely fantastic. But we're going to take one last question, which is there any formula to do carb loading according to the weight of your body?
Carb loading needs to be curated according to the sports which you are into. And secondly, according to your weight, your body, your body cycles, and your past experiences of exercises, and how much the capacity, what is the capacity of body, your glucose levels, all these things matter while carb loading. So this cannot be a generalized question, it has to be specific from person to person.
Yes. Yeah.
There was one more question. Priya, there was one more question that was there. What is the difference between looking fit and feeling fit?
I was just coming to that. Yeah.
So I want to say, because my company is Get That Fit Feeling, I want to say that yes, you need to feel fit, from inside, and get that fit feeling. Okay, so you need to understand your own self first, and that's that feeling should come from within. That's what I want to say. I think Supriya asked that question. I think so. I can see Supriya's question on the.
I would like to just add to that. It is a state of mind. If you believe that you're fit, it will start exuding from your aura, from your body, from your attitude towards what you're doing and what you're not doing. So you automatically start feeling fit. And then you have to go to the physical fitness regime, but you cannot not do that.
Fit mind, fit body.
Yes.
Fabulous, guys. It has been absolutely wonderful having you all on board. I don't know where we lost Megha. It was so interesting, maybe the connection. But thank you, Megha Sareen, Sharmila Munch, Preeti Pathak, and Manali Vora for being here with me. Megha's back.
Yeah.
Is Megha back? Megha, can she see us? Can she hear us? But so do is we're gonna sign off, guys, and thank you so much
to
Woodpecker Media for having all of us on board. I hope to see you ladies.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Woodpecker Media. Thank you,
Marshall,
thank you for creating.
Thank you, Woodpecker Media.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Priya, so much.
Thank you, Priya.
Thank you, guys.
You're a wonderful moderator.
Absolutely effective. So whatever energy I get, I give back. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Thank you. Thank you.